Any advice as a tax advisor for the people who buy properties and rent it out? Any advice for the renters and for the rental properties?
If you say, hey, listen, I'm going to hold this asset for 7 to 10 years,
right.
It doesn't matter when you buy.
It doesn't matter.
No, because you're going to average your way out.
People who bought it and waiting for refinance,
correct.
Their golden time is coming. It's okay to buy a house. It is okay time. You may wait a little bit longer if you are looking for the rate to come down.
If you're never going to sell this property, don't worry about it. Take the depreciation.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, right? Or you say, oh, my kids are going to inherit it. I don't care.
How's the real estate market now? Because I mean, when it comes to regular real estate, purchasing your house and, or second properties, it's just becoming unaffordable as time progresses.
It is, and now that the Treasury is going to be below 4%, I think.
The interest rate is going to be below 4%, you believe so?
No. The Treasury bill.
The Treasury notes, right? You're talking about.
So when we were doing loans at, say, 5.5, right?
Right.
It was at 3.7.
3.7.
The T-bill was at 3.7 back then.
Okay.
Now we're getting close to that again.
Which is 2 years, 3 years, or 10 years? 10 years.
10 year is...
The 10 years ones that goes with the 30 years mortgage.
Correct. That's the way everyone should look at it. Right? So as people leave the stock market, they go into the Treasury market, right? It starts going down, going down, and going down.
Yeah.
They don't need to raise it to attract investors.
Correct. So when the short-term Treasury bill goes higher but lower, and then the long-term goes higher, they call it an inverted curve.
Correct.
And should you be...
Look, the best way to remember this, guys, is a unhappy face.
Unhappy face, except for those two eyes. Now, if you were...
Those are recession signals.
Correct. So should you be careful about that? Should you be worried about this?
We've had an inverted yield curve for a while.
I think we have been in recession for a while now.
Very like this.
Yeah.
We're
Now
we're going to see what
the curve will be more visible.
Correct.
Okay. So in this scenario, are you safe with the real estate buying?
I think you are safe because look, now, as you just said, hey, everything's so unaffordable, blah, 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 right?
Correct.
All that stuff, right? But now it can become affordable if the rates come down again.
Yeah, because,
so what does that do? So the prices are going to stay where
they are, more likely, and then the rate's going to come down.
Correct.
That makes it cheaper to buy.
Cheaper to buy, correct.
Okay,
so the real estate market itself is its own animal.
Yeah, but people say this is where you don't lose money in the long run.
So here's the trick with real estate, right? Very easy. If you say, hey, listen, I'm going to hold this asset for 7 to 10 years,
right.
It doesn't matter when you buy.
It doesn't matter.
No, because you're going to average your way out.
Okay.
Okay, that's long term.
Long term.
Right, but if you say, oh, I'm going to buy and flip a house, this is not the time to do it.
This is not the time.
It's that simple.
All right. So, any advice as a tax advisor for the people who buy properties and rent it out? Any advice for the renters and for the rental properties? As
a tenant?
Not as a tenant, as the owner.
Right, as the owner. Look, I do want to touch on this because I have been seeing this year, with especially all the new clients coming in. Everyone needs to be careful with what they call depreciation, right? Yes, it's a great expense. We get it now, but if you once you sell that property in the future, all that depreciation becomes added back into capital gains. So you're basically helping yourself today, but might really damage yourself in the future.
Really?
Yes.
How
depreciation recapture.
Oh, because your valuation is going up.
Well, no, it's a non-cash expense.
Okay.
Depreciation, right? So eventually it will come back and hurt you as a capital gain.
What do you do?
That's the thing. So you say to yourself, do I really need to take that now? What is my benefit? So that's why I always work with my new clients, like, okay, when are you going to sell this property? If you're never going to sell this property, don't worry about it. Take the depreciation.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, right? Or you say, oh, my kids are going to inherit it. I don't care, right?
Okay.
That's fine. Then don't even worry about it. But if you say, hey, listen, I'm going to sell this thing in 2 years, and I'm going to take depreciation, well, it's going to hurt me in the long run.
Okay. So your advice would be?
My advice would be, it all depends, again, back on what we were speaking about your holding period.
Right.
If you're looking to sell your real estate in the next couple of years, I would say you should back down on that depreciation.
Two things you mentioned. One is it's okay to buy a house. It is okay time. You may wait a little bit longer if you are looking for the rate to come down.
Exactly. I think the people who already bought with those really high rates,
Right.
you're going to see the opportunity that I've been talking about for the last 2 years that finally may actually show up.
So people who bought it and waiting for refinance,
Correct.
Their golden time is coming.
It's coming. It looks like it's
Should
coming.
I call it golden time?
Could be.
It's a better time.
Hey,
Better time.
if your interest rate's 11%, it's a golden time.
Yeah. So
Okay.
11 to coming down to 6% or 5%, right?
Right, but I'm saying to you, it's there. We're close to it, but it all depends how long this war, tariff war, goes on.
Right. So today, President Trump was saying, "Hey, lower the interest rate to Treasury Secretary Powell," and he said, "No, I'm not going to lower. This is not how it works. The economy works. Doesn't work this way." Any comments on that?
Yeah, because look, he really can't dictate where the interest rate.
He mean Trump.
Trump.
Okay.
All right, he can't. He has no power. Okay, he's zero. Okay, but he tries.
He
right?
tries.
They already announced
To muscle his way in.
Exactly, but they already announced that this is going to happen.
Right. Right.
But the more he does what he does, I think we're going to see the mortgage rates drop lower and lower.
Okay, so if you were to time it, I know it's very difficult to time the market. However, if you were to time it, and if anybody who's watching right now live or maybe after, and saying, I'm just waiting for refinancing to get a better rate, what would be your suggestion to that person?
Oh, it's very
what would be the wait period?
It's very, very simple, right? It all depends where your interest rate's at, right? If you're at like a 6 1/4, your time's not coming up that soon because you're going to need like a low 5 to make it work.
Okay.
Right? But if you're in the 7s,
so that makes
8s,
sense.
and everything else, your time's coming. So you want to make sure your tax file is prepared as if it's going to happen. Okay?
I'm going to stop you right there. You just brought in a very good point. Let's make believe, I am waiting to refinance. I'm hoping that interest rate comes down below 6. I bought it at 9 or 11, which is outrageously high. So it's a steal for me. If it comes down to 6% or 5%.
This is what I've told all my clients this year, okay? The ones especially, because I know there's rates off every single one of my clients.
Right.
Okay? I say, listen, if I think it's going to be a possibility, I say, look, we're going to put the tax file in extension. It's not going to hurt us, okay? It doesn't cost anything to do an extension, okay? Unless you owe money, right? So you just at least want to pay what you paid last year, right? Your tax.
Correct.
Right? You can protect yourself. And guess what? If it doesn't turn out to work, we file the taxes.
All right.
We have till October.
That brings me back to the taxation again. Okay. If you haven't filed the taxes yet, today's 4th, 15th is the last day for individual, but you can take an extension. And if you are preparing or thinking of buying a house or refinance, what would be your ideal suggestions? Because at the end of the day, this person is hoping to lower his interest rate. By lowering interest rate, he's going to lower his monthly payment significantly.
That's correct. That's exactly what it is. You're going to save at least a couple $100. Some people are going to save $1,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
Just file an extension. It's not going to hurt you. I encourage people in this situation.
Take an extension. Don't rush it.
I encourage people. And also, people who have rental properties, it's even more important that you want to take an extension. Why? Because mortgage companies do look at the last year tax file. Whatever that rent is, they only take 75% of that. When you put the repairs in, you put all the other stuff in, that actually hurts you. Doesn't help you.
So you may think that's benefiting you, but it's really hurting you.
Really hurt you because now they're going to go against your income on that.
নিউ ইয়র্ক থেকে সম্প্রচারিত TVN 24 টেলিভিশন বিশ্বজুড়ে বাঙালির কণ্ঠস্বর।